Hello everybody, what is up? It is me, Cass from Cass's Critters here, and we do have a very tough topic to talk about in this video today, and that is an explanation as to where I've been in case you don't follow my Instagram. What are you doing? Because you should be. It's at Cass_critters. I will go ahead and leave the little name right here if I can. I'm sure I will forget probably, but oh well. But we do have a really tough video to make today, and it's basically discussing the story that I explained very briefly over Instagram. I'm going to get a little more in-depth in this one and talk a little bit more about it, be a little bit more educational, because on Instagram I just basically posted the emotional side of it, and I do want to actually sit down, break it down a little bit, and tell you how I'm feeling and where I am currently. So, yeah, let's get into the video. So, in case you do not follow my Instagram, again, what are you doing? I did post a story on my Instagram. It is my most recent post from, I think, like 2 days ago or something like that, and that is the explanation of what happened, and I'm just going to start with the story of how I was feeling, and then we'll get into the diagnosis. So Wednesday night, Ed and I took a trip, and we were up in the Victorville area, which is probably about 2 hours away. It's over by the Route 66 where we got the videos for Instagram and YouTube on his channel at The Genetic Hunters. Go ahead, that's my fiance, go ahead and check him out. He's amazing, he's my best friend. And I really couldn't have done any of this without him, to be quite honest. But we were up in the Victorville area, and we were hanging out up there. It was probably about 10 o'clock to midnight, and I had this incredibly sharp pain in my lower abdomen. I just thought, TMI, maybe I had used the restroom. I tried, and I ended up getting sick in the restroom, and I came out, told him, and he suggested that we stay a little longer. He started questioning, asking if I needed to go to the hospital, stuff like that. Me being stubborn, I said, no, I'm fine, we're good, I promise, we're good. If it gets worse, I'll go in the morning. So pretty much all throughout the night, I was not able to sleep, and I had continued to get sick, probably about 3 or 4 more times, and I was just not feeling good. It kept him up most of the night because he was worried about me, and it just sucked. So we drove back home. We got home at like 7:30 in the morning-ish. My first instinct was to take a shower to feel better. Unfortunately, my mom was in the shower, and I was waiting on the landing just outside her bedroom because I knew she was going to finish up pretty quickly and she'd come out and check on me. So I sat down, and my condition declined very quickly. I started feeling very ill. I actually ended up laying down at that point, and when I laid down, I was not able to breathe. I was gasping for air. It hurt to breathe all in my shoulders, deep inside my shoulders, as well as in my chest cavity and in my abdomen itself. Then it kind of started radiating down to my legs and into my back, which was very concerning, of course. So after my shower, I came down and I told Ed I think I should go to the hospital. He was obviously resting. He was tired. He was worrying about me the whole night. So I was not at all mad by him resting. I drove myself to the hospital because, well, first off, my car. Second off, the hospital is literally right across the street from the community that I live in, so it's not that big of a deal. So I drove myself to the hospital, and it wasn't really that much of a concern at first, besides the fact that my heart rate was in the 140s. So that was obviously concerning. The attending nurse was like, oh, your heart rate is really high. Do you have high heart rate naturally? I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. So this is concerning. At that time, I was also in a lot of pain as well. We hadn't figured anything out. So when I had finally gone back into, the back of the ER, they had given me a bed. They started doing a lot of testing on me, and they poked me with IVs. They took a bunch of blood for blood tests. I was on saline for a while. So basically, I got in there and actually, got back at noon into the room, and they immediately put an IV in me because I was very dehydrated, clearly. So they gave me some saline, but they also gave me a pain medicine. I'm not sure what it was, to be quite honest, but they gave me an IV pain medication for the pain I was in, of course, because my abdomen was still hurting and I was still laying on the gurney unable to breathe. So a few hours went by. I started feeling okay. I was a little drowsy, a little loopy, but Ed did manage to come hang out with me for a few after I had got the diagnosis, and mind you, this was after multiple ultrasounds. I literally had 4 while I was at the hospital, or at the first hospital. So yeah, we had a fairly invasive ultrasound as well as 3 normal ones. And I got my diagnosis, and the diagnosis was absolutely heartbreaking, and it still messes with me. It's still very painful. It's a very sore spot, and well, let's get to it. So basically, the diagnosis that I had after being told the complete opposite was an ectopic pregnancy. Yeah, that was unfortunate. That sucked. As soon as I found out, I called Ed, and of course he ran over to the hospital to come be with me, because that was a very, very painful diagnosis, considering we had been trying to have a baby for the last 2 or 3 months or so, which was something that we obviously kept tip-top secret, because why are we going to tell something like that? So unfortunately, I did have an ectopic pregnancy, and I was 5 weeks. At the end of it, I ended up reading all my paperwork today, and I looked through everything, and this is why I'm actually able to talk about it and explain it more educationally, because, yeah, it was a lot more complicated than I expected. So after I got the diagnosis, around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, they decided that they were going to transfer me 10 miles over to a hospital that is more prepared to deal with reproductive issues, I guess is how to say it. They were more fit to deal with pregnancies and stuff like that, so I got transferred over there, and I was only there for a few hours before they rushed me into the OR. Basically, as soon as I got to the second hospital, they of course took out my saline line and continued to pull blood from me. They did many more blood tests, confirmed the fact that it was actually an ectopic pregnancy with my HCG levels and stuff like that, and by the white blood cell count, they had kind of figured that it was going to rupture fairly soon, and of course it was. There was a lot of excess fluid in my abdomen, not actually near my uterus itself, but actually in my upper abdomen, which is what was putting the pressure on me breathing when I had laid down. There was a lot of excess fluid in my abdomen, and unfortunately that was symptoms of the embryo rupturing. It had been like that for a few days, I guess. It was just building up, getting ready to rupture, and if I had waited another day, the circumstances would not have been the same, and I would not have been as okay as I am today. So I got to that new hospital. It was probably about like 9 o'clock when I got there. I was, of course, taken by ambulance. So when I had got there, they, of course, again, did the blood tests again. They did the urine tests again. They did x-rays, they did more ultrasounds, they did just all these tests, and they had determined that at 1:30 in the morning it was basically dire, that I needed to go to the OR and I needed to get the embryo removed because it was basically just ready to burst. So at 2 in the morning I was all ready and in the OR, all knocked out and stuff, and they started making their incisions, and at 4 o'clock in the morning I did wake up. So the surgery overall went well, with the exception of the fact that not only did I have a sepsis risk because my heart rate and white blood cell count had skyrocketed, but also that I had lost a lot of blood because the embryo actually did rupture as they were removing my fallopian tube and ovary. So that sounds scary. It was. I had a lot of friends and family that were dead worried about me, that were set on visiting me, that just had to say that they loved me and they cared about me because they were just so scared, and I was scared too. I mean, I hate to say it, and I don't want this to sound as bad as it's not as bad as it is, I promise. But unfortunately, I was alone at that other hospital because, again, Ed had to work. If he was not at work, he would have lost his job, and my mom, she doesn't have a car currently, so she couldn't just drive over there. It was really unfortunate, and a lot of the people who were comforting me were at work because a lot of my friends work overnight. I mean, it's just how it is. But besides that, the surgery overall went well. I am okay. Of course, mentally, I am very upset. I am very heartbroken over the fact that I lost my baby that we had been trying for the last few months, and the fact that I was 5 weeks, which is an eighth of the way through the pregnancy. Even though it seems so insignificant, it's still very hard. It hurts a lot. I don't know if you guys saw, because again, I don't know if you guys have my Facebook or Instagram, but we did end up naming the baby Dakota Avery, and we just miss our baby so much. It's obviously very hard. But again, it was laparoscopic surgery, so it was minimally invasive, so I do only have a few little incisions over my stomach, but they, of course, they hurt. I'm swollen. I'm very huge right now. So, yeah, and I have an Elsa Band-Aid on from my sweet, sweet sister Aubrey in Florida. She she has been a lifesaver, and so has my other friends. So, I mean, yeah, let's just show it off a little bit and get back to talking. This is 2 days post-op. As you see, I have a bandage over my belly button. This is where the actual camera was. This is the Elsa Band-Aid. This was on the side that they used the suction tool on. This is my left side. The side is fine. It's perfectly intact. We're good. This is the right side. This is where my ovary and fallopian tube were removed. This is the bad side. This side is obviously very painful and tight and just ow overall. So, I mean, there's that. But overall, I'm doing very good. I'm not really holding that much water. And I'm just swollen. That's it. That's all it really is. So now that we've seen my mess of a stomach currently, I just want to say that they did in fact have me prescribed a lot of medications, and I'm only taking those necessary. I'm not really in that much pain, which is something that's actually kind of normal for me. I don't tend to have that much pain when it comes to this kind of thing. Like, it's a weird thing. I don't know. I have a high pain tolerance. That's all I can really say. So I'm not in a lot of pain. I'm not taking the higher medications that they did prescribe me. They're not necessary. I just have them put away because they're obviously higher medications that I don't want out. Those are only in emergency situations. So right now I'm just taking my ibuprofen and the other kind of medications they have me taking, which would be the iron and the vitamins and stuff like that. So besides that, I'm not allowed to really do a whole hell of a lot for the first week. I'm, again, 2 days post-op, so I have 5 more days before I'm actually able to get back in the swing of things and start not working out, but walking around a lot more and start taking care of myself rather than requiring help. I do actually have some of my close friends coming over to come help me and take care of me while Ed is at work, because he still has to work, of course. It's really unfortunate. I know he wishes he could be here with me and just take care of me and baby me and make sure I'm okay. But again, we do have these amazing friends that we love so much, such as Josh. I'm sure you guys all know him, and Linda as well. They are also our partners for Pacific Sea Salt Co. So yeah, they're pretty great. Linda's gonna come stay a few days with me to make sure I'm okay, and yeah. So I have this amazing support system, and I just wanted to update you guys, let you guys know I am okay, I am safe. I still have my family here, of course. My family is just babying the hell out of me. They're all taking care of me. Like my brother, my autistic brother, is coming in the room offering me food and coffee to make sure I'm fed and I'm okay. And my sisters are just loving on me and being the sweetest people to me ever. So, yeah. I'm very lucky to have the support system that I do, and if I didn't have them, then I would not be as okay as I am right now. Obviously, I'm upset. Obviously, my heart is broken. Obviously, I'm very distraught and I'm a little lost, but I'm okay, and that's all that matters, and I will be okay again, and I promise that. We will be coming back hopefully fairly soon, probably more towards the end of the month, maybe next month. Again, we are dealing with this rough patch, and it's even worse that my birthday is in just about 2 weeks, that I have to deal with this just before my birthday. But again, you just gotta keep pushing on, you just gotta stay strong, and I know that little Dakota would just want me to push on and be okay. So, yeah, I love you guys so much. You guys have been so amazing to us, and we appreciate all the support and love that you've been giving us. So, from our TGH family, from Ed and I, from my family, from our friends, we all love you. We all thank you so much for your kind words and your kind support so much. We love you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. But just in case you want to support us a little more, which totally you don't have to do, but if you want to, just so you know, I do paintings. I do really beautiful paintings, in my opinion, and I am more than willing to paint and sell for right now, because we, of course, do need that extra support right now. So just so you know, this is a basic idea of what I do. This is a 16 by 20 canvas. And this is actually going to some family back east. This is actually going to go live with my biological father and my family out there, since I actually just reconnected with them by getting with Ed, actually. So, I do have things like this for sale, and I will be posting more there on my Instagram and my Facebook as well. But if you want to see what I currently have available, you can go ahead and DM me, you can email me, you can text me. I will leave all my contact information in the description. Again, you totally do not have to buy anything, but if you want to cast this Critters piece and you want to support us a little bit, then of course we'd really appreciate that. And I also did this as well, and a bunch of the paintings in the room. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show that off a little bit.